Hello and welcome to From the Mic Stand here on our Suckers. We just on a brilliant set from the John Street Revival, and now we're just going to chat to them about their music and about their new album and new singles that are coming up. So, guys, really enjoyed your set.
Thank you.
How have you been today?
Good.
Yeah,
Good.
yeah.
Fine. Looking forward to coming round, and we've had a few.
Yeah, we tried it a few times.
Very
We've had some
delayed.
technicals tonight with the internet, but yeah, it's all good. Yeah, nice to be here.
So, for people who are brand new to your music and not
Mm.
really heard much about you, do you want to tell us a bit about the band and yourselves?
Yeah, sure. We're a five-piece based between Macclesfield and Leek, and we're kind of alternative Americana.
Yeah.
Which, for those wondering what is that, it's kind of because Americana is such a big umbrella these days, isn't it? It's like it involves country, so it's bands like Wilco, straight through to kind of War on Drugs, Ryan Adams,
Right.
Springsteen, and then classical bands. I'd say Little Feat,
Yeah.
the band, which have been a massive inspiration
Mm.
lately. So yeah, stuff like that. So if you're into that type of genre, bit of southern rock, Leonard Skinner vibes and stuff, that's kind of where you'll
Sure.
find our.
And you've been going quite a few years now. Is it your second or third album you've been working on?
Well, technically, first for the John Street Revival.
Right.
Last year, we had a little bit of a lineup change. Mark, the bass player, left.
Okay.
Bill had a hiatus with us, which he's now back, and he did the album with us. But we were called Field Manual, and
Right. Sure.
we had two albums out from 2017, which was Someday Streets, and then 2020 we released Souvenirs, the second album. And so I kind of wanted to change the name a while ago because even though I believe that a name of a band becomes like the sound of the band, like
Sure.
Field Manual, it didn't really do us any favors in a genre sense, because I think you do have to literally judge a book by its cover with bands. And I think Field Manual is we've had a conversation about it, and it was like it could have been an electronic dance band
Right.
with the
Yeah,
name,
sure. Yeah,
and it was
definitely.
fine. A lot of people liked it, but if you didn't know us personally, I'd think.
I think there was quite a-
think. Yeah.
I think there was quite a big band called like Field Music or something.
Yeah.
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 That's pretty
And I
nice.
didn't mind. It was quite cozy having the name quite
Right,
close because they're a
yeah.
great band, but we were very sonically different. But so we really wanted to change. We changed the logo up and stuff like that, and it just became when we had when Mark left, the bass player, we lost the rehearsal room we had in here long term in Mark, and then
Right.
kind of everything shook up. Phil had to leave for a bit, and I just thought, well, it's a perfect time to just kind of
Sure.
just rebrand it a little bit, because we still play some songs from the first album, a lot of the songs from the second album. The sound's kind of the same. I think it's just getting,
Yeah, it's like there's some stuff that works from the older stuff and some that doesn't work quite as well. isn't
as
it?
we're
So
kind
it's
of doing
like
that rehearsal, aren't we?
Yeah,
at the minute, we
yeah,
kind
kind
of
of.
go, remember this one, and
Yeah.
you kind of play it, and we go,
Seeing if you can tweak it a bit.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Kind of
So
sound
you
more
can
like we do
rearrange it,
now.
yeah.
and,
which is nice, and because you do listen to your old songs, which you don't think you paid much attention to.
Yeah.
And I was listening to the new album just to check it all out when it was released on the release day, and listened to it on one of the streaming services to make sure I got everything right, and then after that, obviously, the Likeness tracks come on, and it played a few of these songs and I was thinking, oh, that's a nice song. Who's that? And I realised it was off our other album. And I was like, that's nice,
Right, yeah.
because I totally forgot about it.
Yeah.
And I was like, that's a lovely sounding song.
Do you ever take like old album tracks and then like cut them up and then mix them with another album track to make something new? Have you done anything
of our
like
own
that?
songs?
Yeah, of your own stuff.
Not really. No, I think when you're kind of writing, you might have two songs and two parts work and two parts don't, and
Right.
sometimes you can marry them together.
Yeah.
But I've never really kind of stitched two songs together like that. I mean, there's a track on the first album, Fire and Fire Reprise, which kind of run into each other.
Right.
So that's kind of like two songs stitched together in that respect, yeah.
So you released the album earlier this year. How did all that go then?
Really well, actually. Yeah, I think it was, I can't remember release date now, which is bad. I think it was February or March.
I
It
can't
goes
think
so
it was
fast.
April. but
It could have been April.
One of those
One of
ones.
those,
One of those
yeah.
beginnings of the year.
Spring.
But
Yeah.
we kept saying we were going to put the album out because we had it recorded last summer, if I remember rightly. And it was kind of done, mastered, and everything. We did it at the Big Red with Jake
Right.
Evans,
Right.
and it came out so well, and we were so happy with it. So it was kind of done for sort of August.
Mm.
And the idea was to put it out a bit later, and then as time goes on, you're thinking, right, well, if you're gonna put an album out, you need to gig it, and you need
Yeah.
to try and get some reviews. Luckily, we landed a support slot with Ginger Wildheart and the Sinners
Right.
in October, November, didn't we? We did like a handful of dates with those on their tour, which was fantastic. We got Newcastle and Chester, meant to do Birmingham, and where else? Huddersfield, wasn't it?
Yeah.
And it was brilliant. So it really kind of, through doing those gigs, we got a little bit of press from doing that,
Yeah.
and then we they reviewed the album and stuff like that, which is what we need, because it's so hard for an unsigned band or unsolicited band in the eyes of management or
Yeah.
labels or whatever,
Yeah.
that you're just another band, and it's
True.
so you've got to kind of just go and do it yourself and try to make friends with these people and say, please listen to our album and
Sure.
give us a little write up or something.
So is there a big launch night for the album and things like that? or-
We didn't actually have a launch night, did we? As such, we actually supported Ashley Sherlock.
Right.
So
Okay.
we sold a show out with him, like a joint effort. But Ashley's great, and he's really doing well for himself.
Yeah.
And so that was kind of
Yeah, it
that
was
week,
almost like
wasn't
an
it?
unofficial
was.
launch, wasn't it? Yeah, 'cause
Yeah,
it was
yeah,
that week.
it was.
Yeah.
It was April then, wasn't it? Yeah.
Yeah.
It was because we released it on the Monday, and then we did a
Right.
gig with him on the
Sure,
Thursday,
okay.
and I think it was his release date as well, or something on that week, which was really handy.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we classed that as our kind of like, yeah, that was a really good gig.
Sure.
Actually, so.
So you mentioned during the performance you've got another single coming out in the next few weeks, months. or so?
Yeah, we need to get that out, but it's kind of you have a certain time when you kind of say, "Oh, I'm going to release it," and you've still got to go. I don't like throwing things out cold, and then August comes and you're not doing many gigs because just everywhere's booked up or someone's away. So there's no point in doing that. So I reckon September probably. Because we're doing the Leek Americana and Blues Festival
Right. Oh, great.
on September the 27th, and that's with Fine Lines, which is Mark Radcliffe's band, and they've just been on tour with Kiefer Sutherland, and I think they go out with him again in July, actually. So we're doing a gig with them at Leek, and Karen McBride, the photographer, she's having some artwork, and I mean she's worked with Scotty Moore, Elvis's old guitarist, every Manchester musician pretty much, everyone's seen her work on magazines and Enemy and album covers even.
Yeah.
So she's having an interview before the night.
Oh, right. Yeah.
And tickets for that are available online at the Foxlow. That's going to be at the Foxlow in Leek on the September the 27th. It's the opening night. It's a Wednesday night.
Right.
And so that's going to be a really good gig. So I think probably it's going to be about then when we probably put the single out.
Yeah.
So when you do these singles, do you do like music videos or anything along those lines? Or
I mean, I'd want to, but it's kind of getting around to doing them. I mean, these iPhones and stuff make it so easy to do them now.
Yeah.
I think, unfortunately, the ideas aren't as easy.
Right.
And, you've always got to have an idea. And I've had, you do get ideas and you think, well, how can we tie the whole band into it? And then it becomes a performance video, which isn't a bad thing.
Yeah.
But it'll be really good to do something a little bit different.
Sure.
So we will do something at some point, because you need that visual promotion.
Yeah. And you've mentioned the gig later in the year, but what have you got coming up shortly?
We have got loads coming up. We've got. Have you got your list on there?
Yeah.
Oh.
So it's Saturday we're playing in Darwin. It's like a
Sunbird
record
Records.
shop, isn't it?
Yeah,
It's all sort of venue.
Yeah, it's one of the music trust venues.
Oh,
where the government put the money in to kind of keep them going. Really invested some money in it. It's great. And they came down and saw us in Stockport and said, do you want to come and play? So we just said, absolutely, because we don't really do too much around in town. It's always, we're always trying to get gigs out of town because, well, it's just, it's not that it's any better or worse than playing in your own town. It's nice to play in your own town, seldomly, I think.
Yeah,
because
makes it a bigger show, I guess.
So there are dates. We have got Sunbird Records in Darwin. That's near Blackburn.
Yeah.
Saturday the 10th. Then July the 8th, we've got the Flying Circus in Newark. That's like a 4 p.m. gig. It's like
Right.
that's what their thing, So. Then on July the 15th, we've got 2 festivals. We've got the Old Sage Music Festival on a marquee stage at 3:15 p.m. And again, July 15th, you've got an evening slot at the Butterton Festival, which is near Ashbourne. That's a real cool little
Right.
rural festival. It's dead good. And then July 28th, we're at the Flower Pot down in Derby. And then we've got nothing in August at this point. And then we've got September, Lock 91, which we're doing acoustic.
Right.
And then September the 27th, the Foxlow Lincoln Americana Blues Festival. Fine Lines, as we just mentioned.
Brilliant. And so if people want to get your music, is it available on vinyl, CD, online as well?
CD at the moment, and all the streaming sites, all
Sure.
the popular ones, and more. There's so many of them now, isn't there? But
Yeah.
it goes on. Yeah, I think
Sure.
everyone's favourites like Deezer and
Yeah.
Spotify. Everyone seems to not admit that these days, but yeah, everyone that plays Spotify only. And Apple Music or iTunes or whatever it is these days. So yeah.
So to order, if they want a CD or something like that, is on your website? Or...
You can buy them. We haven't got a buy it link on the website at the minute, unfortunately, because the website doesn't allow us to do that. But
Right.
You can get them at gigs.
Yeah, okay.
You can email us, and we've just send you a buy link, and you can just do them that way. Yeah.
And then for social media, is it all just the John Street Revival?
The John
and
Street
then
Revival.
find
Yeah,
you?
the website is thejohnstreetrevival.com.
Yeah.
And there's links down at the bottom for there for like your Facebook,
Sure.
your Instagrams. We don't do Twitter. We haven't done that for years.
Yeah.
But yeah, the 2 main ones. And I'd love for MySpace to come back.
Sure.
The good old days.
Well, thanks for chatting to us and playing live. Yeah,
Thank you. Thanks
See
for
you
having
again
us.
soon.
Lovely.
Cheers.
Yeah, thanks, mate.